Hi, everybody. Welcome again to another episode of the Debby Campbell Goodtime Show. We've got a great guest today. She is a songwriter out of Arkansas, and she has won 5 awards in the last 2 years at the Arkansas Country Music Awards, but she's also one of country music's rising stars. Please welcome to the show, Erin Enderlin. Uh-oh, you're sideways on me again.
Oh, no. How's her doing that? That better?
Yep, that's great. Hi, Erin. Welcome to the show. So glad you're here.
Thanks for having me. You know, it's a sideways kind of time. So
yeah, I know, exactly. Little Arkansas girl, born in Little Rock, huh?
Yeah, I was born in Little Rock and grew up in Conway mostly.
My aunt lives in Conway, one of my dad's sisters.
Yeah, she actually, I think, used to live across the street from my grandmother.
Oh, my gosh.
I forgot about that, but they used to talk all the time. And
right. Was that out in Greenbrier?
No, it was Conway, but
okay.
I don't know. My grandmother may just be making things up. Who knows?
Oh, no, she wouldn't do that. Well, I'm so glad to have you. So what age did you start getting into country?
I don't really remember a time before I was listening to country music. I think music was always a big part of my life. And I spent a lot of time at my grandparents' house, and my grandpa had this great record player with a great record collection. And I used to love, after he'd get off work, to get to go pick out a record and, you know, do the whole thing, dusting it off, putting it on and listening. And my grandmother, we watched a lot of TNN, and she sang a bunch of old folk songs and things. And so
right.
I just grew up knee deep in it.
Right. Now, do you have siblings?
I do. I have a younger brother and a younger sister.
Are they into music at all?
They enjoy music, and they're both very talented at it, but they don't do it.
Right.
They don't do it enough to where it gives them a headache.
Do you get a headache? Come on, you don't get a headache.
I'm just kidding. They don't have to worry about any of the business part of it. They don't have to keep tax records. They just
true. Exactly. Now, you moved to Nashville when you about 18?
Yep.
And you started writing. Well, you probably started writing before that, but now while you were in Nashville and while you were writing, were you going to school or?
Yeah, I moved to Nashville at 18 to start going to school at Middle Tennessee State, which is right outside in Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Okay.
And I went to school there for the recording industry program, and started just soaking up all the music I could, going to writers' nights and shows and meeting folks and
right.
Writing a lot.
Well, I saw that at 22 years old, you had Alan Jackson cut one of your songs, Monday Morning Church.
Yeah. That was pretty awesome.
Was that your first one?
It was. Technically, I had a Trisha Yearwood cut before that, but it never came out. So they never finished that set of stuff.
What was the name of that
song? Now that you've asked me, I won't be able to tell you.
Well,
except when I fall out of love.
Yeah. What was it? Sorry.
Except when I fall out of love.
Oh, okay. I love Trisha. I love her voice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Now, let's see here. Was it in 2004? Was it Leanne Woolmick's? No, that was 2008. What song did you have that went to Billboard #5 in 2004? Was that Alan Jackson's?
That was Monday Morning Church, yeah.
Okay. All right. And then 2008, Leanne Woolmack. You had a cut on her.
Yeah, Last Call.
Right. And that went to number 14. So now here's this little youngster, this little teenager, climbing up the charts with these cuts. And 2011 comes along, and Luke Bryant recorded one of your songs.
Yeah, he recorded a song called You Don't Know Jack.
Mm-hmm. And how did that do?
That was just an album cut,
okay.
But I think he sold about 3 million copies of that so far.
Right. Now, I don't know anything about the record business, really, even though I grew up in the business. So when you get a cut on an album, do you make money off of it if they don't release it as a single, but you get put on the album? Do you make money from that?
It depends. I had a publishing deal at the time. Okay. So I was getting a salary, basically, and that helped me keep that deal longer. And
oh, yeah. Great. Yeah, of course. If you're developing and people are putting your songs on their album, then of course the publishers don't want to get rid of you.
Yeah.
You know. So it's been said that you have a way of turning a song or just a thought into an outstretched hand to the lonely and ashamed. So is that why you think a lot of these artists are starting to turn to you, for their songs?
Um, it could be. I feel like it seems a little bit like a miracle anytime somebody records your song, because so many different things have to come together. Um, but I do think I've always been really intrigued with stories, and I love to just get right in them and sink my teeth in them. So I think that is kind of a hallmark of my songs.
Right. I don't think it's a miracle, Erin. I mean, I've listened to your music, and so you have got great storytelling. I mean, I've watched all your videos. I love The World Without Willie. I think that's it's a great song. It's just a great song. And I can't remember the name of the other one you do with one of your friends in one of your videos. What's her name?
Oh, was it Bathroom Mirror?
It might be. Yeah, it might be. Yeah, she's got a great voice too. Wow.
Yeah.
Now, some of your musical heroes are like Terry Clark, Whispering Bill Anderson, Rhonda Vincent. I'm not familiar with Rhonda Vincent. What did she sing?
She's a great bluegrass artist, and I actually just had a #1 bluegrass record on her.
Oh, wow. What was it called? That's awesome.
It's called Like I Could. I wrote it with Jeannie Seeley and Bobby Tomberlin.
Wow, Jeannie Seeley. She's such a great artist. Wow. You also had a hit. Well, I guess I just say hit, but you had a cut on Rodney Crowell's album, and he did a duet with Ringo Starr. What was that one?
Yeah.
You're Only Happy When You're Miserable.
Yep. And I wrote that one with Rodney. So
oh, did you?
Yeah. That just came out this last August, I believe.
Okay. Oh, and how's that doing? I mean, did it hit
It's doing good. I think the record's gotten a lot of good press, and obviously touring's a little bit different right now, but
right, exactly. Can't get out there and but you have done a lot of touring. You were featured with Jamie Johnson, Sirius XM Outlaw Country Tour.
Yeah.
Now, how many dates did you do, you think, on that?
I did 10 on that one, I believe.
Okay. And then also you crossed over to the UK. Don't you love the UK?
Yeah. It was really, really cool over there.
What month was it that you went?
I went August, September.
Well, that's good. Those are good times to go. You don't want to go October, November, it starts getting really cold and rainy. And And so now, is this recent that you just had a cut on Reba's new album?
That was, it's just about a year old now.
Okay. About what?
It's her latest record.
Yeah.
It's called The Bar's Getting Lower.
Okay. Is she going to release that as a single, you think?
The Bar's Getting Lower is one of the songs that women will either love or hate. And if it's too close, they'll probably hate it. If they've been there and survived, they'll love it. But it's life. She's getting older and the bar's getting lower. It's a sad reality song. She was hoping for pink champagne, but she'll settle for well whiskey. Saw herself in the arms of a man like John Wayne, but this guy ain't nothing to write home about, that she's gonna maybe go home with tonight. So it's what her dreams were. The older she gets, the dreams have really plummeted to the bottom. Now she's settling.
I don't know what they're planning to do with the rest of the record, but
right, yeah. So that was just about a year ago, huh?
Yeah, I was so thrilled to have that. She's one of my biggest influences. So
she's awesome. Yeah, I met you. It's been 2 years since I met you at the Arkansas Country Music Awards, and wow, I mean, what a force you are to be reckoned with. I mean, I've gone the last 2 years, and you've raked in 5 awards. This year, you're up for 7 awards, and hopefully it goes on. As of right now, I guess Arkansas is loosening up their restrictions a little bit, so it looks like the show is going to go on, but that's going to be awesome. So you're up for Song of the Year, Female Artist of the Year. What else?
Country Artist, Entertainer, Album, I think. There was Song and Songwriter, so I think you mentioned one of those. I guess it's a good problem to have when you're up for so many you can't remember them all in order.
I know, exactly. And for those of you watching, the Arkansas Music Awards are for artists that aren't on a label and that are out there touring all the time, because you're not on a label, right?
I had a distribution deal on this last record with an independent label, but
Now, will that disqualify you next year? I don't know.
no, I think it's just, they have a bunch of different levels of criteria.
Mm-hmm.
So the independent records, I think, are still right.
Now, shortly after the awards, your song, I Can Be Your Whiskey, was featured in Rolling Stone's 10 Best Country Songs to Hear.
Yeah.
How did that feel? I mean, that has to be exhilarating, I guess.
It was really awesome. They actually ended up naming the album, they said it was number 17 Country Americana Album of the Year.
Oh, okay. So I know, what are the Americana Awards? Are they pretty soon? I mean, even though
they're usually in the fall, and I'm not sure. I think they just announced they're not going to be having the yearly festival. So I don't know how that will change what they're doing with the awards this year or not. But they just started announcing nominees.
Are you nominated?
No, not this year.
No. Well, Tanya was supposed to headline that, I guess, and so if they're not going to have the awards, it's funny. Yesterday, I interviewed the girls, Reverie Lane and Layla, and I asked at the end of the show, I asked each one of them who was on their playlist, and it came from Layla, and then it went to Presley, and I asked Spencer, I said, "Who's on your playlist?" She goes, "Well, right now I'm really listening to Erin Enderlin." I go, "Oh my gosh, that's so awesome!" Well, you're supposed to be doing that tour. You were supposed to. You were going to be on the country music women. What is it? The women.
It's the CMT next Women of Country tour.
Right. So now they're probably going to reschedule that. Probably the early part of next year, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard anything yet, but I just, it's a time I think where you just got to kind of roll with it. People are finding out more about what's going on every day. So
right. What you've said is your songs are about real life experiences, real emotion. Raw but yet complicated. You really don't have a moral, I guess, to the story. You just write from your heart. Have you lived all these?
No. I mean, I think I put little pieces of my life experience into my songs.
Right.
And definitely the emotion, but I love stories. I love creating characters, and sometimes I incorporate people I've met or stories I've heard from people, and sometimes it just comes together from just imagining a scenario. Right.
I interviewed Debbie Gibson the other day, and it's like, how do you write a song in 5 minutes? I don't. Have you done that? Like in just 5 minutes, the song's there and it's ready to go?
I don't know about 5 minutes. I think maybe 30 minutes sometimes. But wow. A lot of times I feel like those songs that come really fast, you've done a lot of the work beforehand. It's okay. You're just ready, or like I'll be thinking about an idea or kind of have something percolating maybe for a while, and then it's just all there. Right. But it was, it was just developing.
Right. So now I see that you've also toured with Marty Stewart.
Mm-hmm.
And Sunny Sweeney. I'm not familiar with Sunny Sweeney. I mean,
yes,
this is horrible.
Awesome.
So country, is it country or?
Yeah, she's like real honky tonk country. And
how long has she been around? Because I've never heard that name.
She's been touring for 17 years, maybe. I don't know. I've known her for, I think, around 15 years. And
what's a hit song that I would know?
From a Table Away.
I don't know it.
And
not terrible. I don't know it.
And I actually wrote her latest single with her, Poet's Prayer.
Oh, okay. And now you've also toured with Willie.
Yeah.
What was that like? Oh my gosh.
It was incredible. Jamie was on that tour too, Jamie Johnson.
Okay.
And there were a couple of different factors that led me to being on that tour, but Jamie co-produced my last 2 records that I put out.
Okay.
And so it was just incredible. I love that kind of country music so much, and to be able to go out and play and tour. I mean, we even got to ride on a bus and everything.
Wow.
To get to do that would be incredible enough, but then every night you go out and see shows by performers that you really love and respect, and you love their music, and get to watch that every night for, I think it was about 3 months. It was a really awesome experience. And Willie's so just kind and gracious, and so he would let us come up and sing the gospel medley with him at the end of the night. And I got to talk to him once about some things, and he talked to me about some of the songs on my record and things. And
did you play your song? Did you play your song "In a World Without Willie" on that tour?
I didn't. That was actually inspired by that tour.
Oh wow!
Just because I'd be out there and listening to these songs. I mean, he has so many hits, can't even do them all in one show.
Right.
And just the number of iconic characters that he has created, whether he wrote the song or he interpreted the song, just started thinking about how awesome that is. All those characters, all those hit songs, they wouldn't exist if he had actually decided to go and be a hog farmer instead of sing country music.
Right. So on that tour, what do you have? Jamie Johnson, you got Willie. Who else was on that tour?
Brantley Gilbert and Craig Campbell. It was actually like a festival tour.
Uh-huh.
So it was really cool. So there's music all day long.
Right. I sold T-shirts for Craig Campbell in Vegas.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I always go in. My girlfriend, she books all the entertainment down on Fremont Street. And so I always go in during rodeo and try and help her because she's so bogged down with everything. I go, what do you need me to do, Mama? Tell me what to do. She goes, well, I need somebody to go over. Craig Campbell doesn't have anybody to do his merchandise. I go, well, he could be my cousin, so I'll go over and,
take care of family.
I'll go work his merch for him. That was pretty funny. So when you were on a tour like that, did you have your own bus?
No, they actually had, because it was a different kind of tour. As I mentioned, it's like a traveling festival. So they actually had one bus that took part of the crew and some of the artists.
Right. Okay. Because I know Willie's probably got his own bus.
Oh yeah.
And Jamie probably had his own bus.
Yeah, Jamie I think was actually following us in his Escalade for a while. He always likes to be different.
Right. So then there's a car to drive around in,
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have a new album on Spotify, right? Is it Faulkner County?
Faulkner County came out November 1st. And then I'm actually releasing a new single tomorrow that's just, it's a cover of Nitty Gritty Dirt Band's Fishing in the Dark that I did. That just thought it'd be a fun summertime.
Are you releasing it on Spotify? On Spotify?
Mm-hmm. It'll be out on Spotify and Apple Music. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. That's awesome. So what would you like to do a song for us today, or 2 or 3, however many you'd like?
Sure, I'd love to.
What would you like to do?
How about I do I Can Be Your Whiskey?
Okay.
And then maybe some Fishing in the Dark.
Love it. Love it.
Gotta check the tuning. Hat pulled down, eyes on the floor. Every night you come back for more. Order up, Maker's on ice, and chase it with a lucky strike. I can be your whiskey, I can be your cigarette. I can drown that memory that you're trying to forget. If your loving cup needs filled up, she let you on dry empty. Baby, I can be your whiskey. My love's stronger than 90 proof. Just wait and see what one kiss can do. And if you think it's too good to believe, don't worry, baby, 'cause this round's on me.
And I can be your whiskey, I can be your cigarette. I can drown that memory that you're trying to forget. If your loving cup needs filled up, she left you bone dry empty. Baby, I can be your whiskey. Baby, I can be your one more chance, your one more try. My love can get you so high. I can be your whiskey, I can be that cigarette. I can drown that memory you're trying to forget. If your loving cup needs filled up, she left you bone dry empty. Baby, I can be your whiskey. Baby, I can be your whiskey.
I didn't know if you were going to unmute me. Yay, that was awesome. That was awesome. So what made you pick the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band to do?
You know, I was just, I've always been drawn to that song,
Mhm.
and I've played it so many times over the years. I remember playing it in high school and playing it in shows all over, down on Broadway and things. And I just thought it was a little different from a lot of the songs that I do.
Right.
And I like that. I love the imagery in it. I love being outside in nature, you know, going to the lake and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And the song just always made me smile, made me happy. So,
Are you a fisherman?
you know, not like a very good one, but I enjoy it.
Mhm.
I especially enjoy deep sea fishing.
Oh yeah, I would. I've never done that. That would be fun. My girlfriend
Yeah.
loves to deep sea fish. We'd go to Mexico every summer with the boys, and she would go out there and you know, deep sea fish. But I'd stay with all the kids, of course. But I'd like to do a fishing show. I think that would be fun with
That
artists.
would be awesome. Yes.
Yeah. Well, great. All right, so let's hear some Nitty Gritty Dirt Band.
All right.
Lazy yellow moon coming up tonight, shining through the trees. Crickets are singing and lightning bugs are floating on a breeze. Baby, get ready. Across the field where the creek turns back by the old stump road, I'm gonna take you to a special place that nobody knows. Baby, get ready. Ooh, you and me go fishing in the dark, lying on our backs and counting the stars where the cool grass grows. Down by the river in the cold moonlight, we'll be falling in love in the middle of the night, just moving slow. Staying the whole night through, feels so good to be with you. Spring's almost over and the summer's come. Days are getting long. Waited all winter for the time to be right to take you along. Baby, get ready. It don't matter if we sit forever, fish don't bite. Jump in the river and cool ourselves from the heat up the night. Baby, get ready. Ooh, you and me going fishing in the dark, lying on our backs and counting the stars where the cool grass grows. Down by the river in the cool moonlight, we'll be falling in love in the middle of the night, just moving slow. Stay in the whole night room. Feels so good to be with you. You and me going fishing in the dark, lying on our backs and counting the stars where the cool grass grows. Down by the river in the cold moonlight, we'll be falling in love in the middle of the night, just moving slow. Stay in the whole night room. Feels so good to be with you and me going fishing in the dark. You and me going fishing in the dark. Fishing in the dark.
I meant to say, let's hear some Erin Enderlin doing Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, not let's hear, but. So I want to ask you a question about Spotify. So when you put your songs on Spotify, they're your songs. But when you do like you're doing tomorrow with this song, what are the criteria? You know, like, is there copyright? You know, I don't know.
Yeah, you pay I mean, if a song's already been released, then the right of first refusal has already been given. So that means as long as you pay the statutory rate and you get a license, then you can record it and put it out.
So do you have to get a license for every song like that, or just have a basic license that allows you to re-release other?
You're supposed to get a different license for each song. Yeah.
For each song, okay. And then with your songs, they're yours. And so now if somebody was to release one of yours, that would be the same kind of thing?
Yeah. And I mean, I've still gotten licenses for all my other songs too that have been put out because most of them I have co-writers on.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So are you planning on going to the Arkansas Awards?
I am, as of now, in this ever-changing world.
What if you get booked on a show by then?
Oh, well, I hadn't thought about that, but I think it's a Monday night, so hopefully it won't be too bad.
Right. I'm so happy you came on the show today. Is there some things, like, is there anything you would like to plug? Do you have certain foundations that you're a part of?
I don't right now. I've worked with a lot of different places over the years, but
Right.
I used to volunteer with the Hall of Fame actually a lot with their kids programs and stuff, which is really cool thing that they do.
And you're still outside. Are you still in Murfreesboro, or you've moved since?
I'm in Nashville. Mm-hmm.
Okay. That poster I see behind you, is that from when you got your cut on his album? Yeah.
Yeah. He actually bought us all platinum records.
Oh, awesome. I can't see. Is there a record in there? I can't see it. I just see the poster.
They just have the CD in there now. They don't do like the full
right
deal anymore, I guess. Or maybe you can, but there's different.
Well, you're going to have to revive that when you get your album.
Yes.
Up in a plaque. I'm so happy to have you, Erin, and I hope I get to see, I'll see you, in Arkansas for sure.
Yes, of course.
Definitely.
For sure.
And everybody, thanks to Erin Enderlin and her beautiful singing, and go to Spotify and order all her songs, and we wish you luck at the awards. Hope you swing.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Erin, so much.
Thank you.
Special thanks to Erin Enderlin for joining us today, and stay tuned next week for another episode of the Debby Campbell Goodtime Show. Have a great day, everyone, and be kind.
In a world without Willie, that whiskey river runs dry. We'd still have rainstorms, but there'd be no crying blue eyes. No red-headed stranger boarding that train they call the city of New Orleans. In a world without Willie, I just don't know what I'd say. In a world without Willie, I wouldn't be in this bar, chasing my dreams under these blue neon stars. Another honky-tonk angel flying too close to the ground. No, I don't wanna know how we won without Billy would sound. In a world without Willie, Patsy Cline wouldn't be crazy.